But I want to say too, like that's also why I think feminism helps men as well, because especially with custody types of things, because it just
wait a minute. What?
Feminism dismantles these gender norms and stereotypes. So judges typically, are biased towards women because we have this stereotype that, women are naturally motherly and they're going to be a better parent than a father or whatever, but that is not true. So if we can start to recognize that and recognize that there are fathers who can be better than mothers can be very abusive, and gender does not play a role in whether a parent's going to be, more suitable for the child.
Nah, it does play a role. It does play a role.
How does that help men?
He just said he agreed.
Real quick.
I was waiting to hear how it helps men part.
Okay, so in like custody cases, and domestic violence too, because feminism it's like the purpose is to dismantle these gender norms and stereotypes. So the reason that women are, or judges have a bias against men or fathers, typically women will be just believed based off of their word, or they'll be given the children because we have this stereotype in society that all women are motherly and have this natural ability to be nurturing and a good parent. And so we have this judges have this bias against fathers and are more likely to be, believe women more because, we're just, we can't hurt a fly and we're so loving and men are so aggressive and have these tendencies, you know what I mean? So if we get rid of these stereotypes and these gender norms, which is a purpose of feminism, in my opinion, then judges will stop or, hopefully get to the point of not having these gender biases when ruling custody and looking at women as possible domestic violence perpetrators. So if you guys, are always encouraging traditional women gender roles, traditional women norms, women are women. Okay, yeah. Well, if you want to keep it like that, judges are going to continue to have these biases towards women in custody and domestic violence cases.
Look, I get what you're saying, right? I do, I get it. Right, you have a point there.
Feminism as a concept is still needed to be in the conversation, but people have ran with it way too fucking far, and it's destroying the original purpose, and it's just doing the opposite. It's just making it worse.
You have the ability to control who you are and who you aren't around. And feminism has done its job.
Not at work, though.
You also have guys who think it's okay to approach women.
You know how to shut the fuck up when somebody else is talking.
No, because you're wrong. There's guys who approach women and when...
Yeah, Red can learn how to shut the fuck up when somebody else is talking. But feminism has done its job because they have given women the ability to do everything that men have been able to do. The only issue is that I think women are having individual problems with some men not buying into it, and that's gonna happen regardless. Me as a black man, think about this. Me as a black man, because I remember we went back earlier to throw in during slavery time. So I'm gonna bring in me being a black man in society right now. I should be treated just like any other person. I should be given the benefit of the doubt, just like any other person, regardless of what race they are and all that woo-woo stuff. Mm-hmm. But I also understand that some people do not buy into that. That does not mean that the job of trying to end this or trying to correct this is done or is over. It's just that they're going to think the way they want to think. Red, don't let me fucking kick you out again. God damn it, I ain't done talking, motherfucking damn.
That is my point, though.
Go to Red now. I'm going to Red.
That's why feminism isn't over.
No, I ain't got shit. I was just saying what you just described was exactly the point. You just went on a whole rant like you was coming up with a rebuttal. That wasn't a rebuttal. You just explained the point she just gave you.
That's right.
Grace, you up.
He is right.
Okay. You will not accept it. I don't understand why there's a back and forth.
I think you guys need to want more.
Why?
Listen to all of this. I
don't know why. Why do we need to want more?
Because they think they want more. So they want to project on
No, I want to know what her answer is, though.
They don't know.
I'm about to ask her.
I think there's unsuccessful marriages because people are getting into marriages for the wrong reason, or they don't actually fully know a person, or
into marriages for the wrong reason.
men will accept women that they really, they should be asking more from her, but they accept the bare minimum.
20% of the time. So 80% of men are staying in the divorce. Staying in the marriage.
Jayne. I want to know what is the bare minimum. Hold on. So you're telling me that if
feminine friendly.
All right, real quick, we're gonna do it right here. All right, look. Why do you say men need to want more? Why?
Yeah, I think you guys should have like
you should have higher standards.
Yeah, or just look for something deeper. in your partners and your wives.
In what way? In what way do you mean?
Like more than just, oh, she's fit, she's feminine, and she's friendly. Like a real, like you should like be attracted to her for like on a personal, individualist level.
Both of you guys.
Well, that's
One of my favorite things that you said is that women love idealistically. I'm sorry, men love idealistically, women love opportunistically.
Yeah.
Fully co-sign on that, fully understand that if you're not providing value to a relationship, if you're not being that, you know, man who checks off all the boxes, good looking, funny, attractive, smart, cool, good with the kids, good with the mom, but be nice, but not too nice, be rough, but don't be too rough, I don't want to end up in jail. There's so many different situations a guy has to bring to the table, whereas a guy's just like, listen, be hot, don't give me a fucking headache, and just be an asset, not a liability.
That's included in the feminine and friendly.
So friendly is basically just the super broad term. So everything that I named, how I was like listing off others, like, oh, he's grounded, blah, 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 blah. I could have just said friendly.
Well, you could have broke it down. Like I told you, girls talk like this. Guys,
No, I think we're just more
talk like this.
descriptive. I think we're like more precise.
I don't think you were more precise, Jane, because nobody understood what you were saying you wanted.
Well, you just said friendly. Just like, what do you have a type, or is just like any
Yeah, I got
any
a type.
chick?
I got a
Okay,
type.
what is your type?
A woman.
Women and things of that nature, and we don't receive it the same way. So the way you're coming at it, you can't speak to us in like girlfriend terms. I digress. My mic is.
I mean, I get maybe that's why I'm not understanding you guys, because you guys are talking
and this
to
is
me
what
like
why I said
guys.
the definition of feelings, because women process everything through their feelings, and the definition of a feeling is vague and irrational. Men are logical.
You don't think that's true, Jane?
We're logical.
I just think
Well,
it's funny that you guys think that guys don't do that.
Yeah, we do have
Some
emotional
guys
right?
do this, but the majority of men are logical.
Every human.
Look,
No, not
I'll
every
tell you this.
human.
The guys that like
Feelings
process
are-
everything through their emotions, their feelings and shit, you can either see them 6 feet in the ground or in prison.
You
Process
literally
their
can't
feelings.
help it. Every time you are receiving any information, you are going to think a certain way about it. You're going to process it. You're going to have a judgment about it. That's how you feel about
Yeah,
what
but
you're hearing.
That's not how you feel.
Look, we guys have feelings. The problem is we can
What
put
is
our
it
feelings
then?
aside. We can put our feelings
I gave you a
aside better.
dictionary definition of a feeling. So for women, it's vague and irrational. That's not how men process information.
Okay, how do men process? How did you guys?
Logically.
So you
Logically,
logically
use the
process my words, even though you couldn't understand them, and I irrationally.
Because they were illogical words. So that's
They
why
weren't actually. They were more descriptive, but you guys weren't
No,
able
they
to
weren't.
understand them
You were
because I was talking
describing-
in girl language.
You were
Apparently,
He said women don't really like, men have to do all these things to get a girl's like attention, and like, yeah, women get a lot of attention, but I think there's a lot of things that we have to do to get a guy to want to marry us, and women aren't necessarily like very, we don't really care about how many guys want to just fuck us and chuck us. Like, that's not something that we value like men do. But like all these guys out here are always saying like, oh, women have it so easy because they don't have to do anything to be wanted by guys. They're born with value. But that's not true, because we don't value being fucked and chucked. We want a marriage, and there's a lot we have to do to get a guy to want to marry us.
Don't care about their money.
the reason it is that way though is because of the way guys treat them being in the boss, provider, making money position. That's how they talk to women. So women have been having this like rebuttal of like, well, guess what? Now I make my own money. That's what's happening.
Listen,
I
it's
think
being
there's a
law.
cultural difference that y'all aren't accounting for, and I think this is why Jane is having trouble understanding y'all, because culturally, white women and black women are different.
Well, and I was going to say generational too. I think younger
And then, yeah,
guys.
generation, definitely.
I ain't gonna lie, Jane been sounding like a modern sister all night, but go ahead, though.
Well, because she's a feminist.
She has, bruh.
The black
because
women are
it's
adopting the feminist point of view for their own benefit, but culturally, they're different.
And I think
Go
the
ahead.
younger generation of guys they
They're
don't
not
have
leaders.
this respect for like the womanly, feminine role. Like I just don't think they
So
see the
again,
Jane, I want you to
White
pay
men or
attention.
black
Jane,
men.
pay attention to what's taking place right now, Jane, because I'm sitting back and I'm listening to you, and it's no, I just want you to pay attention. This really is dead on proof of when we say women are very selfish. Everything is about you, and there's no accountability. But women's minds are like a ball of yarn. I always say it, and men's minds are like boxes. See, we know how to take out one thing at a time, address that one thing, and then put that back. So, see, the ball of yarn with all the different colors is your feelings, mixed in with facts, mixed in with truth, mixed in with how you feel at the moment, and you don't know how to separate these things.
But I think she hit on something very key, and she was accurate that this younger generation of men are different. And
Who's raising them?
It doesn't matter. We're not talking about who raised them. We're talking about what they are.
That has a lot to do
No,
with
we're not talking about the history. We're talking about what they are.
Yeah, but how do they
He just addressed at one point. He just addressed the
Women's minds are like a ball of yarn.
See, we know how to take out one thing at a time, address that one thing, and then put that back.
guys don't expect a lot from women.
Yes, they do.
Like what?
Dinner every day, clean, do your laundry.
But I
Okay.
don't even need a girl to cook for me.
Guys will ask you to give up your girls' night, give up your social life, give up your career to be with children. Some guys want you to accept their disloyalty.
Yes.
Like what women will like change from day to day.
Yeah, y'all feelings based.
Oh my god.
That's why divorce
Shit,
is at
please.
80%.
I want him to cry and be emotional in front of me. He cries emotional in front of you. You go cheat on his ass.
Bitch and they talking shit about it, right?
Man, nobody want to hear that bullshit.
Most women are not like that. That is the exception.
So how do you explain the 80% divorce rate?
It's not because he cried in front. It's probably because
No,
he
I didn't
refused
say
to
that.
cry
It's
in front of
because
her, and then he became an
probably
ass.
cheated on her.
Because what you want constantly changes. And it's
That's
not
'cause
because
he
of
cheated.
cheating. It's not
Women cheat
because
more than
women
men.
cheat at the
Using
same
that
rate as
But guys say, oh well, one woman can never fully sexually satisfy us. We need
not true.
diversity. We need that.
That's not a man I would
That's not
recommend
a-
listening
Yeah,
to.
I don't
and
think
getting,
all guys think this, but I think they're
advice
told this
on
when
that.
they're young, and they
Not
think
even
that
close.
way.
Nope.
We ain't
Not
told
even
that
close.
shit when we young.
Nope.
Guys are told that they want to sleep with a whole bunch of different women.
No, we're not.
No, we're not.
Are you
no.
kidding me?
No,
So
Jayne, I
guys
will be
having a
100%.
high body standard or a high body count is like just guys
No,
should
we
have
just
lower
talk
body
about
counts.
the difference
That's
in
what we're
how
promoting.
we are more capable. No, we more so talk about how even biblically, however you want to put it, right? Historically or whatever, we are to be fruitful to the earth. We are to plant seeds. It's more so of that kind of talk. And
We're in
yes, with men.
competition,
But you just
we
said we're the
talk about horny
spontaneous
face
one.
and all of that.
No, we're in
But
competition as young
Maybe
men.
that's why
Like,
women
you
get
lame.
bored.
No,
because-
y'all just never satisfied. That's y'all problem.
No,
Now,
I don't.
dude-
I think women aren't naturally monogamous either. I think honestly
Yes,
that's
y'all
why
are.
women get bored and they end up cheating a bunch. Because
Y'all are
I think
naturally monogamous.
No,
Well, she's actually
no.
right.
This is all stuff that varies from person to person. No,
She's actually
No,
we're not
right
across the
because
board.
Here you go. Well, here,
women
Israel,
are
you say
biologically wired to be hypergamous by nature.
hypergamous, but to be with
And they
one.
always want.
But if I told you don't wear that, what would you say to me?
I mean this is.
Now I'm
that's-
telling you, don't. No, I'm literally looking you in the face and saying you're not wearing that.
I'd
what
say
would you
too
say?
bad.
You say too bad.
Yeah.
What would be the point of your man telling you what you can and cannot wear? To provide protection, because who knows better what goes to a man's head than another man? Okay, so he wants to make sure that not only are you representing yourself well, you're representing him well and showing respect to you first, because I guarantee you he's thinking about you first. Okay, and will another man look at this some type of way and her become a victim because of this outfit? This is how they think. Just because you don't agree does not mean that's not how men think.
No, he's a victim of other guys staring at his girl. That's what he's a victim of.
No.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, no.
The thing is, women value attention. No. See, that's the problem. We're viewing it from two different aspects.
He's not going to control, because I know myself. He should trust me that I'm going to wear good enough, like correct clothes. I'm not.
Why is it gotta be about control and not protection?
Fuck that. No.
Control because he's controlling what I'm wearing. What?
When you're a dude that you with a girl that with a high body count, and everybody knows, shit, you're a lot of dudes will lose respect for you. You know what
Can I
I'm
ask
saying?
why? Like, is it just a perception thing? It's like a ego status thing?
I mean, yeah, all you can say is, I want to say ego status, we just don't want to be embarrassed,
But why is it embarrassing? Like, why do you guys think it's embarrassing?
Because we don't respect, we don't really respect the hoes like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, and like I said, it's because women now, they so open about their sexuality,
But
honestly.
why is that so hurtful to men?
May I briefly, let me help y'all, Jayne. What it is this. Certain things within us, no matter how much people try to say, oh, times are different, it's not like that anymore. There are certain things that will always be almost like DNA coded, innate within us. So part of that innateness within men is definitely conquering. And when we feel like it's too many flags on that hill, so it's really more of a men. We truly value chastity, a word that's not even used these days.
But why?
Huh?
But why?
Why?
Yeah, why is it so valuable?
That answer itself may vary from man to man, but I can tell you for myself, the reason I want that is because of our bloodline. See, men, we are about legacy. And we are about who we have these children. See, it's not just about, oh yeah, it looks like if I have a baby with her, our kids will be cute. No. It's about bloodline and DNA coding and legacy.
Oh no, I understand that. I'm talking about like previous people you've slept with. Like why is it so valued for a woman to have like the minimum amount of
It's not if you're a jump off. If you're just a jump off, then it
I mean for marriage.
But you have to also understand.
Well, again, because men are about conquering. We are about territory. Men are very territorial. And if we feel like there, I mean, there's men love to be able to show our women things. If you somebody who's been everywhere, done everything, you've done every freaky type move in the room, and it's just nothing I can show you. If anything, I'm trying to keep up with you. We don't like that. Innately, it takes away from our like leadership in a way role. That what we bring. It's only but so much in a way I can explain it to you, because naturally as a woman, it's only going to be but so much of this you're going to get. Because some of it you just kind of have to be in the body of a man. Same thing where it's going to be some things with you as a woman. I'm just not going to be able to really, like a period. I would never be able to truly, because I've never been in the body of a woman to know the feeling of a menstrual cycle.
Also,
you see what I'm saying?
Wouldn't it make you like more special if a girl slept with like a huge amount of people? And would it make you more special because she chose you? And she's like been with other people?
We don't feel special. That's one thing. Like we don't be feeling like, oh, I feel special because we don't.
No, but she chose you.
I know. I mean,
a man wants to know that he is the father of his kids. Luna Dev knows answer, because Dev answered himself. He said the answer is that historically men never knew they were the father like women do. Lower body count improves the odds, which pretty much alludes to the fact that a woman that has a history of being promiscuous runs a higher chance of her going out and being promiscuous again. I know y'all said exploring sexuality or whatever the hell. I don't even know why that word was used. Promiscuity. A woman that's going out here taking dick is not a woman that you probably want to wife up, because you don't know if she's out here just having sex. She already showed you a track record of liking to fuck people. So if you marry her, you're going to have to question, are those kids your kids? And we had a long time back in the past where a lot of men were raising kids that were not theirs.
For sure. I mean, I think that's a little outdated though, but
you think so?
Yeah, like if you really don't think it's your kid, like get a DNA test. I mean, if you're married and you're what, like you've been with your wife for 2 years and she has a body count of like 30 people, let's say, but you've been married for 2 years and the baby comes out, are you going to be like, oh, I don't know if this is my baby because she slept with 30 people back in the day?
You always have that in the back of your head. Just like if a girl was with a guy that cheated on her one time, she's going to always think that he's cheating.
Well, and also consider this. A woman who hasn't explored, she might get into a relationship and be like, wait, like I've only been with like one person and I kind of want to like see what other guys might be like. And that might actually encourage her to cheat more than a woman who's like been there, done that. Like I know what I want, or I know what I like and I found it. And so I don't need to go anywhere else.
So you're advocating for women to go out there and explore their royal oats. Like
I'm not saying being super promiscuous, but
be somewhat promiscuous.
But explore your sexuality, yeah, I think so. But don't be like doing it just to do it, to like be cool or say fuck men. But like, I think it is valuable for women to get in touch with their sexuality and explore what they like. And
what would be the benefits that come from that?
You get in touch like just with yourself on a personal level, and then like meeting other people and recognizing your chemistry. Just like a part of our femininity is our sexuality. Like,
no, really.
Now keep going, Jayne. Keep going.
So I think like learning, if you admire somebody and you like them, I don't think it should be so like shunned and shamed if she like sleeps with him. I'm not talking about like going out to the club and fucking every guy like every night just for fun, but like exploring like your sexuality with a person you're comfortable with, who you like. Like, I don't think that's such a big deal, even though you might not end up marrying them or being with them forever. Like, if you're into it, like if you feel like turned on, like explore.
Which one would you think is better? A woman that had sex with 20 guys, but she was never in a relationship with any of them? Or a woman that had sex with 20 guys, but she was in a relationship with all of them? Which one would you think was better? Which one do you think would be better?
How old is she?
Clearly 20 relationships. It's got to be some time. It doesn't really matter about the age.
If she's younger, I think 20 relationships is worse. But if she's like a bit older, 20 relationships is probably better.
Okay, but which one? If there's no age on the woman, but they're the same age.
That matters though.
20 relationships and 20 bodies, or 20 bodies and no relationships?
Because if it's like long relationships, then like that's cool. But if it's like you're going back to back short ass relationships, you probably got a problem.
So why would the woman that has not had a relationship that has back-to-back bodies not be worse?
Because there's no breakup process involved. It's like if someone wants to be with you, but they're breaking up with you because clearly there's something wrong with you.
So I would say a girl that don't have a relationship, but she keep having sex back to back, she don't care about herself. Honestly, she don't even care about her vagina.
Yeah, but I mean, like, if you're young and you have 20 relationships, I mean, these guys probably aren't even thinking they're relationships. He's probably just playing her, and like, she's like, oh, I only sleep with boyfriends. He's like, okay, be my girlfriend, and then a week later he breaks up with her. It's basically the same thing.
At least with the girl with the relationship, at least have some thought, saying who she want to fuck at least.
But she might be thinking about it, but she's not very good at thinking.
It don't matter. It don't matter.
So what's the difference? Why does a woman sleeping with 20 guys, but she was in a relationship with them, make a difference from sleeping with 20 guys that she wasn't in a relationship with?
It'll be a problem either way for most guys, just so you know.
Okay, men, they're almost truthful to a fault. Okay, like, y'all tell the truth about stuff that maybe you should just not.
Once that conversation gets to a certain point, like that tone level from this guy gets to a certain level, and he starts saying certain type of things, we know that we're in fight mode now.
Right.
Women don't have that understanding.
Correct.
And they do that towards men and they do that towards women. I think they understand it better when it comes to them saying certain things to women. But when it comes to men, it seems to be non-existent. You bitch ass motherfucker, all this woo stuff. They don't think nothing would come from that. But if that was another man saying that to a man, we already know we crossed that line of now we're in engagement. We're probably about to have an altercation.
When men have verbal confrontations between men and men, we all know as men, there's a level you cannot cross. Once you cross that level, it goes to physical. When women do that shit, it's like whatever. Y'all don't understand that if you talk to somebody a certain type of way, just like when you talk to men a certain type of way, that they can just knock you the fuck out. Mm-hmm. Y'all talk to people a certain type. I ain't saying you personally, but women, period. Understand that there's an unwritten rule that men don't touch women.
Right.
And women disrespect and habitually line step that rule because between men to men, we know we cannot talk to a man a certain type of way. It's not that men don't control their emotions. It's that certain situations invoke those emotions, or motherfucker might be drunk or some stupid shit like that. But women never control their emotions.
Never. Also, I would like to say that I don't think necessarily that showing your emotions, at least like in a controlled manner, doesn't necessarily mean you're sporadic. Like if you start tearing up because you're sad about something, that doesn't necessarily mean you're like hysterical or crazy. It just means you're like feeling what you're feeling and you're showing it. Or
feelings don't matter.
Well, Jane,
that's not the point. It's just, it doesn't mean that just because somebody's crying when somebody's sad, that doesn't make them like illogical or sporadic or hysterical.
Y'all are very neurotic. Like
men are neurotic as well.
Hey, I'm gonna just say this: women are childish in nature. We do what we. I'm gonna just say this: women are childish in nature. We do what we without thought of the consequences, and then when the consequences hit, it's lie, cheat, steal, manipulate, and do or say whatever you need to say to get out of those consequences.
No, okay, so no matter what we do to prove ourselves, it doesn't matter to you guys. So we can fucking earn our way all through law school, pay that shit off all by ourselves, no parent money, whatever. Start from the bottom, come to number one spot, whatever. You guys don't give a shit because our value only matters as a fucking pretty, submissive, whatever little person. We don't earn our respect. Our respect is given to us on how beautiful and how much of a woman, how submissive to you guys we can be. That's how our respect is earned. But that doesn't make us respect ourselves. You guys don't care about that. That's fine. And you guys say we don't care about you guys. So I guess nobody just gives a fuck about anybody. But that's why these relationships aren't fucking working, because nobody actually respects anybody, and everybody gets into a relationship for their own fucking personal satisfaction and benefit instead of actually like what?
The trick that you're not understanding is everything that you just said, you are grading yourself on the same level that men grade themselves.
I was just about to say that.
You're not looking at it from a female perspective. You're looking at it comparing yourself to a man.
no matter what we do to prove ourselves, it doesn't matter to you guys because our
You know why?
value only matters as a fucking pretty, submissive, whatever little person. We don't earn our respect. Our respect is given to us on how beautiful and how much of a woman, how submissive to you guys we can be. What about the women fucking carrying like huge shits of water on their heads?
Yeah, and what were the men doing while they were carrying that water?
Honey going to war. Remember that? Probably taking more like bullshit.
She's
Who
talking
built
about
the,
African. She's talking
who
about
built the
African
well?
countries.
Who built the well that the water came from?
I did
Go
that.
ahead, brother. David, go ahead.
Let me put it like that. What you're talking about is you have women carrying about, I don't know, 50 liters or 100 liters on their head, walking 3 to 10 miles daily, fetching water. That's been done. We got a guy carrying 2 barrels on a wheel cart, going back and forth fetching water. No power. Unless you from a wealthy family who's going to afford a generator with petroleum to run that generator to give you so you can get the water from the well deep in. Those who cannot afford it will walk 3 to 10 miles every day. I have to fetch about, 300 liters a day. That is 250 liters on a wheel barrel going back and forth like 10 to 15 times. Fill up maybe 3 to 8 drum of water. So it could use for cooking, could use for washing, everything. That's been done. I live in Nigeria for 7 years. Yes, the women in those countries don't do what the women in their country do. Yeah, they have to fetch water and carry the kid on their back and carry a bucket. I've seen it done. I got an aunt who did it. It's not an easy task. It is not.
And men have to die for women.
And you have men.
Before I go to everybody else.
If they don't work in the
Before
modern
I go
jobs.
to everybody goddamn else.
Okay.
If it's in women to be naturally submissive, why are so many of us not? And if it's in women to be submissive, but we're supposed to be mothers, what is a mother's job? We're raising children, we're teaching them the way, we're telling them what to do right and wrong. Like they're looking up to mothers and fathers, but shouldn't both parents agree on the rules for their children?
No.
Yeah, a mother and a father should both agree on what their children, what they want with their children.
No.
Yes.
No,
so,
I'm here.
Okay, so what if the father says one thing and the mother says something different?
I mean, that's gonna happen, but like you're gonna have to
Who
talk
makes the
about
final
it.
decision?
It's not always gonna be one person. It's not always.
It's always
gonna be,
no. It's always
No.
gonna be one person, Jay.
I disagree.
It's still a dictatorship. Like I'm the president.
What?
You the
No.
vice president. Huh?
Dude. How?
I mean, you got a point on that one.
But even the president
No,
has
it's not
checks and
equal.
balances. He doesn't even always make the final say.
I want to hear
He
what
does
Jane
make
had
the
to say.
final
though.
say.
I want
Okay.
to hear what Jane had to say.
I think in reality, we need to make men have this appearance, like as families, in order to appear as a strong family. We need to make it appear as the man is the dictator, blah blah blah. But what is really behind him? What is really that voice behind him? You know, you guys might be saying like it's all coming from you, but I feel like we're making it a war in between the family instead of making it like our family is the army versus the other families. So in order to make our family look strong, okay, we're going to make like the man, because he's the strongest one who can protect us. We got to make him look like he's like, you know, the head in charge, like, but that's not all just him. Like, how are you not going to be attracted to a powerful woman? Like, how are you going to be the strongest team without having a fucking intelligent, strong, an individual, not somebody who is just listens to what she's told. Like she has her own she can like decide for herself. And it's not against you though. Like you really want a woman out there who's just submissive? Just
Yeah.
okay, she was
Yeah.
submissive to you, but who else is she gonna be submissive to? Who else is she gonna be submissive to if she doesn't have her own personal fucking person?
She's already submissive, Jane.
Okay, so who else is she gonna be submissive
she's
to when she's out
to
there?
him. Women's minds are like fucking spaghetti. Everything crosses over. Y'all are the only ones that
Y'all are below
that
us in the
complain.
hierarchy. That's why.
Y'all the only ones that complain about submission.
No, you are complaining about like literally you won't even consider submitting to like that's not even an idea.
Because you're
No, we
below us in the
don't submit to
hierarchy.
women. We don't submit
what
to men as women, but
Everybody
we'll submit
reports
to a man.
up.
We like men will submit to other men. And if there's a woman that runs an organization that we work for, we have no choice. We have to submit to her. Majority of the time, it's men submitting to other men. So I don't understand why women have a problem submitting to men.
because husbands and wives should. That's not even. I just don't even think that should be the dynamic at all
You
within a
gonna
husband and
go
a wife.
downstairs and fucking
Because-
every
the
time.
dynamic throughout
Okay.
James history.
No,
You made your point yet?
I wouldn't even test it out. I wouldn't test it out. But this is a scenario I would give you. Like Jane, if that's the case, every time anybody breaks into your fucking house, I'm gonna put you in the worst fucking neighborhood in the United States of America where people busting goddamn doors. And every time somebody busting that door, get your ass the fuck up. I bet money you ain't gonna want to handle that.
You think I wouldn't have a gun? I would have a gun by my bed. I mean,
I'm gonna give you a gun.
I don't want you around. That's the difference. We don't want you around. We don't want you to fight with us.
Nobody wants to be around a fucking armed robbery.
Just in case, no, because just in case.
No, I'm just saying though, just in case it happens.
I think that women in unhappy marriages are probably going to be the loneliest women.
Women are the problem in the marriages. Majority
Why
of the time.
true? That is not.
No, I'm saying majority of the time, women are the ones that are the
You
problem.
can't say that. You can't say the majority of the time.
I can. You know why? I'll tell you why I can say that.
Okay, why?
Y'all will let off of y'all feelings.
Oh my God, so do you guys.
No, we don't.
Who has the highest self-deletion rates? Who has the highest murder rates? Who gets in fights over like being insulted? Like you literally will act on your emotion. You'll put yourself like in threat of getting arrested or getting an assault charge because somebody like insulted you with words. Or like who can control themselves for sexual assault the most?
You ready for it? How many times is a woman involved?
Not a lot. Men are killing men.
You don't know.
Men are robbing men. Men are when it comes to self-deletion, it's
Jane, do you know
themselves.
Jane, do you know around 70% of men are in prison because of a woman having something to do with it?
Okay, but that doesn't have to do with men acting on their emotions.
We control our emotions better than women do. It is just a difference between how men react on their emotions, act on their emotions compared to women.
Like
Y'all
you're more
are allowed to-
impulsive?
All right, Jane, are men and women equal? Yes or no?
I'm sticking with my answer that people aren't equal and gender isn't a factor.
No, Jane. Stop trying to change my goddamn question.
Oh, I like the way you phrase it.
So just say how you really feel.
This is how I feel. I feel like we're equal but different. That's how I really feel.